The newest update for Minecraft Bedrock Edition has released, bringing us a ton of new gameplay fixes, refinements, and changes to major 1.21 features like the Trial Explorer map finally being fixed, and a ton more loot from your trial chambers. There's a lot of good stuff in this update, so let's just hop into it. There's been a big bug fix to the trial chambers, so whenever a mob in here picks up some of your gear, like if you die or if you accidentally throw them your armor or something, those guys will actually drop their armor, tools, and weapons that they picked up. So as you see, you're no longer going to be losing all of your nice netherite gear or all of your diamond stuff if you happen to die in the trial chambers. We have another fantastic change with the trial chambers, this time with the ominous vault that you can find hiding around the place. Of course, you open these with an ominous key. Now, in the last update, these had a 20% chance of giving you a piece of rare loot. Now they have an 80% chance of giving you a rare loot. So you're going to be getting a lot more enchanted apples, a lot more diamonds, chest pieces, a lot more heavy cores, and of course a lot more wind charge books. So just by going ahead and clicking on a few of these, you'll maybe notice the difference in that we get a lot of rare loot basically all the time. And as you can see, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So more of the story is, I hope you didn't raid any trial chambers yet, because you were kind of missing out on like 60% of your loot. Yeah, not great. But hey, now's a great time to go raid a trial chamber, actually. If you're a builder person, you could have potentially been waiting for this bug fix for years. There's been an issue with quartz, quartz slabs, smooth quartz, and smooth quartz slabs. And the issue was that the regular quartz slabs had the smooth texture on the bottom. Previously, these ones right here, the regular slabs, would look like this on the bottom. And you know what? They finally fixed it. And I'm pretty sure this bug has been in the game or something like it for many years now. We have another great bug fix with quartz as well. So previously, if you were trying to craft the quartz bricks, you would only get 1 brick every single time that you crafted it, instead of the 4 that you're supposed to be getting. And that was just a huge waste of material. So hopefully you weren't crafting very many of these, because you would have really missed out on a lot of blocks. They also fixed the problem where the breeze could get stuck underneath a roof while it was attacking, and a whole bunch of other bugs related to fall damage, wind charges, and just other related, refinements. By the way, if you want to learn how to farm these trial chambers in a super easy and simple way, then check out my recent tutorial. You can get yourself a ton of trial keys and ominous keys with barely any effort at all. There's also a ton of different sound updates and refinements to the crafter, the copper bulb, and some trial chamber stuff, and they've also changed what music plays in lush caves. We've also had a very random change to the naturally generating mushroom stems in the world, so you'll find these big mushrooms and these big mushrooms in places like dark forests or on the mushroom islands. Now, when you mine the stem of these, you're no longer going to get any mushrooms from them. As you can see there, I have Fortune 3, and typically we'd be getting a couple of mushrooms from them. If you mine the outside edge right here, of course you will get mushrooms from that, and then if you mine the tops of this one, then you'll get mushrooms from that one. But a seemingly very strange change. For no good I can't think of a good reason. But don't worry, guys, they increased the rate at which we get mushrooms. Instead of a flat 10%, it's now 11.11% that we get a mushroom. So, I mean, there's that, bonus. Here's one for your Minecraft trivia night. Whenever you eat a pufferfish, instead of getting nausea level 2, you're now just gonna get nausea level 1, which looks a little bit something like this right here. We do love ourselves some nausea. Nausea? I'm not sure which way to say. I'm gonna get grilled in the comments. This is actually really good to know, but I don't know how often it's gonna come up. Bees will now start taking drowning damage after being in water for 1 second, and they really don't have that much health, so, I mean, just don't go swimming with your bees. You shouldn't be doing that to begin with, but now you have a proper reason not to. And just an update on the deferred technical preview, aka shaders for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. They're still consistently working on these things. Basically, every couple of betas, we get a few new bug fixes and things, and it's actually really coming along. However, there's often not enough big changes for it to really warrant its own video. And they've also discontinued shader support for some iOS devices older than the iPhone 8 and iPad mini. So if you're playing on an older iOS device, you're not going to be getting shaders. There's been a really important bug to the Trial Explorer map that you can buy from cartographer villagers. These things will now always have the icon of the trial chamber on them. Previously, sometimes when you bought these things, they would not have an icon, so you'd buy it and it just would not tell you where the trial chamber was. It was essentially completely useless, but now they should work every single time essentially guaranteed. Unfortunately, they've also fixed a really good bug where the Bogged would just levitate whenever they sat inside of a minecart or a boat. They'd literally just be like half a block above it. So that's unfortunate. They now just sit in there like a regular boring old Bogged. But hey, at least we can still go ahead and shear these guys. If you play any amount of creative mode or use any amount of commands, you're going to really appreciate this next bug fix because they have finally added a lovely quality of life feature to Bedrock Edition. So previously, whenever you ran a command in the chat there, that would count as like one entry in the chat. And then if we went around and we ran that command, like let's say 20 more times, we would have 20 entries in the chat. So you'd have to scroll up 20 times. But now duplicate text entries in the chat no longer get stored. So instead, it's like we only ran it one time. That means that all of our other commands are right above it, easy to access. And this is going to make command usage in creative mode just so much easier. This is a lovely quality of life parody feature from Java Edition. So if you're a Java player coming over to Bedrock, there's one less thing for you to complain about. And we could not be happier. And this doesn't just apply to commands either. Anything that you write in the chat will have this feature applied to it. So as you can see, I've spammed a bunch of subscribes in the chat, and then right above that is all of my other commands, so it's just all right there and easy to access. Another tiny little change that you might notice is the leads now attached to the front of the boat right there instead of the middle of the boat, which, you know what? I can see that making a little bit more sense. It just looks a little bit more tidy. It's not floating there in the middle. Now, if you try pillaring up with this, it still acts as if the lead is tied to the middle of the boat, so you're not really going to notice any difference like when you're moving villagers or whatever other mobs you're trying to get around if you're leaded boats. This is honestly one of the best ways to move mobs in Minecraft. You might have noticed this, but previously large chests were unrendering as they got near the edge of your screen, but as you can see, that no longer happens. This is just how Minecraft actually optimizes itself, because if you're not looking at the chest, it's not rendered, and you can see this if we switch to third person real quick and then slow down the video. It takes a millisecond for that chest to render in once our camera can actually see it. So another fun trivia fact for you. And there's yet another quality of life feature in this update. So when you log out of the world, the game's actually going to remember what direction you were facing. So let's log back in, and we should be facing the direct center of that target block. Previously, when you logged in, it would kind of change your look direction, but as you can see, it's exactly where we were previously looking. So you're not going to get reset to a default direction or get turned around if you're at an AFK spot or something. Now, these last two bugs were only found in the betas, but that goes to show the importance of playing in the betas and reporting bugs and issues that you find, because this is kind of like where all bugs begin, is in the betas. So huge shout out to everyone who plays in here and reports the bugs. As with any new Minecraft update, there's gonna be some new bugs and new glitches. So if you want to be featured in a future video, then drop a comment down below of any new bugs that you find in this update, and you might be included in a video. But otherwise, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like, share the video around, and subscribe if you're new here. I'll see you guys down in the comments and in the next one.